Hello, I'm Kavek Jones and this is my second expedition. The object I'm presenting today is incomparably smaller than Richard Underground from the previous episode, but exploring this one led me to some unexpected research. It's a good example of a journey which was supposed to be only a trip down to the undergrounds and back, but turned out to be a much longer trip because I saw something unexpected here. The things I discovered were ex libris traces, a very old and almost forgotten technique for marking books. A long time ago, well-known artists drew them for the most important bibliophiles of their age. Ex libris were the symbols of prestige and respect for the book owners. Of course, I didn't find any ancient books or anything like that, rather, I found a video during my research, which I'm going to show you later. But now, let's go back for a moment to the exploration itself. This inclined shaft was dug around 200 years ago and reached the oldest excavations of the David coal mine. It pumped the water out of the cave, supported the air circulation and served as the emergency way out. In the 1960s it was walled in, rebuilt and changed into the pump station for the nearby city of Wałbrzych. The mine was closed in a few years later, but the water pump station worked successfully until 1998, when the mine was eventually closed and emptied. Later on, like almost any metal parts that are not locked down, the whole pumping system just disappeared. After around 2 kilometers of uneventful walking, we almost missed an entrance in a bed of a dried out stream. We climbed down fast since outside it was below freezing. I was equipped with waders because I knew that it would be wet down there. And being wet is the last thing you want when you have to walk 2 kilometers downhill through the forest to the car. The temperature difference was so great that my cameras missed it over within seconds. Since we were in a coal mine, which can be dangerous, every one of us checked his oxygen bottle again before descending. Down there, a small tunnel with a bit of garbage at the entrance led to the interior of the mountain. The part with stairs was really steep, but at least I could stand up straight instead of slouching. Now we had a long way down ahead of us, so this is a good moment to explain what the heck ex libris means and why you probably have never heard of it. A long time ago, in the dark pre-internet ages, a book or a book collection was the greatest of the treasures. There were a lot of people collecting books in the giant libraries and exchanging them with other collectors, but to do that efficiently they had to have a sign confirming that they do own this book. And this is an ex libris, individually designed, finished with highest precision, based on the first page of book as a symbol of the owner's prestige and his respect for this book. Sometimes it was pasted pictures, sometimes just a stamp. As the books became more popular, ex libris became less common. In the times when many could afford exactly the same books, nobody needed to sign them individually with such an artistry. So, after hundreds of years of being well-known pieces of art and symbols of prestige, they became collectibles known to a very small group of enthusiasts. In the meantime, I reached the crack, which was around 3 meters high and was way too steep to build stairs on, so we had to climb down. As I got there, I saw a white painted chamber. It's a place where the pump stood. They used to pump the water to the ground level and initiated a mountain stream. A small hole in the floor led to the former excavations of David mine. Of course, me and my friend went down there right away, since above there was nothing interesting at all. Scrap hunters took anything that could be taken. The deeper chamber was like a small room squeezed between the rocks. Solid reinforcements, a lot of concrete and bricks made this place like an underground shelter. And it has a purpose too. This incline was also used as an emergency way out, so the way there had to be solid and stable. The traces of coal on the stone walls remind me why I know this place is dangerous. The shelter had two ways out. One of them was a small hole in the wall, which I decided to ignore for now. The other seemed more interesting. It was the intersection of two tunnels enclosed with bricks. This area was roomier than the shelter, the only problem was the 1.5 meter deep water. I knew about that, so I took my raft with us. You may still wonder what this hole in the ground has in common with some bibliophile marks. The deepest part of this incline is a good moment to finally reveal it. So during the research for this movie I found a video from 2011 on YouTube. A group of unknown people came there with their rafts, candles and sheets covered with ex libris to make an exhibition here. Of course, today there are no signs of these sheets of paper, since paper is not the best material in wet underground. But the idea itself surprised me. Why the hell would anybody bother to go there to the middle of the forest very deep under the ground and build an exhibition which will be seen by maybe 10 to 20 people a year who go down there to explore it? Not only was the exhibition itself surprising, but so was its purpose. Everything was made in memory of Henryk Grajek. Then I said again, who the heck is Henryk Grajek and why is somebody making an exhibition for him? I dug a bit deeper and found out that he was one of the best known Polish designers who created ex libris and became famous from his work. His work was shown on every continent except Africa and are presented in many important libraries and galleries throughout the world. He took part in over 300 exhibitions and contests in countries like Canada, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Russia, French and the Czech Republic. His works are presented in Oxford University Library and in Gutenberg Museum in Mainz. But I still haven't found a connection between this mine and this person. I just couldn't believe that somebody would make so much effort to exhibit in a place like this without any particular reason. Henryk Grajek lived in the bad times, when nobody in his country could appreciate his talents. And even the fact that he was well-known and celebrated artist all over the world didn't free him from the obligation of every homo sovieticus of his time. He had to work. He lived just few kilometers from the mine and like the most men in his village, he became a miner. And he worked in the mine I'm currently exploring up to his retirement. He died in 2003, just 8 years before this exhibition was opened. Suddenly I connected the points. This guy worked there. As I was on the way to this mine, I didn't know any of this. I thought it was just another mine to explore with my raft. That's why I was really disappointed when after 30 minutes of pumping up the raft, I recognized that the tunnel behind the corner was sealed off. That was supposed to be the climax of this movie, but turned out to be a 30 seconds experience with too lengthy prelude. Just like my first time having sex. The intersection was in a very good condition, but there was nothing interesting to see, so I decided to go back to the shelter room. Going back, I noticed a flooded doorway with only the top of it sticking out of the water. As I took a better look at it, I found out that it was a door opening leading to the flooded parts of the mine. Deep in the water, I saw a marking tape used by underground divers. That was a clear sign that somebody had already explored it. Someday I will dive there as well. In the shelter room, I directed my attention to the hole in the wall I had ignored before. I was warned not to enter there, since these excavations are extremely unstable and the oxygen level may not be safe either. But I couldn't resist the temptation and crawled carefully inside. Behind the squeeze, the walls looked like they were about to cave in at any minute. I took a better look on the cave and saw a lot of calcium sediments on the walls. That means a lot of time has passed since it collapsed last time. So theoretically the passage could be safe, but I was not well equipped and not crazy enough to squeeze in, and I didn't want to go far from the shelter. After a short recon, we decided to go back up. We packed our raft and slowly headed upstairs. This was a very interesting exploration, but the most curious part happened above ground at my house. This adit revealed a story to me I have never heard of, and led me to learn something new. If ex libris techniques are slowly disappearing, why shouldn't I bring them back to life in my own way and make my own ex libris that I will live in every explored place? I like the idea. Talked to a friend of mine who is a graphic designer, and together we developed this draft, which will soon become my own ex libris. That's the end of the story, but a lot of other stories are waiting to be told. If you enjoyed my movie, don't hesitate to leave a comment, either positive or negative. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel, so you will keep up to date. In case you feel the urge to squeeze in some dark and wet places and are looking for a guide, please let me know. It's actually possible to visit the places like that with me. Just let me know if you want to know more about my commercial expeditions. See you next time, ciao!